My name is Chris Spangler. I play Jim Willis in Coyote Tequila. Jim was undercover because he wanted to stop the gangs from selling drugs in Coyote, and the main reason why it took so long for him to sort of do that, for him to wait for Levi to get into the picture, was the majority of the money and whatnot made him sort of forget about it. So even though he was undercover, he didn't really have many secrets to keep, because you heard him in the storyline. He said, I may have been enjoying the funds a little bit. He wasn't keeping that secret at all. So Jim is just that laid back, it'll get done eventually kind of guy. That's what I like about him. He's pretty much me in a nutshell. Jim's backstory was sort of a combination of me like, oh, he should be this and that, and AJ and I working together. But the main thing that came out to be was Jim started out as homeless, and we don't really see much of that in the series. We just hear him talking about it. He started out as a homeless person, and he really didn't like the gangs. He couldn't get a job. He felt like he was in danger from the gangs. So to get out of harm's way, he thought, I should join the gangs so that way I'm not one of their targets. So that's what he did, and his main intention in the end was to eventually take down the gangs so that way, everything can be happy, happy, happy. But again, that was sort of delayed because money. He was like, I have money. And we have a very extreme example of that in episode 9 where he's driving around in a Corvette. But yeah, that's pretty much just Jim's backstory. Homeless, joined the gang just to take it down, and kind of forgot about that. Then when Levi came into the picture, he was like, oh yeah, this is what I want to do. You see, again, like I mentioned earlier, Jim did kind of get overwhelmed with money to make him not want to take it down as much as when he started out. But the main reason why he couldn't do it is because he didn't know about the cook, which is played by Nick. Can't remember his character's name at the moment. I know I'm a horrible cast member, but he didn't know where the cook was. And I guess sort of how he started to take down the cartel is he gave information to Levi, so that way Levi could be used as, oh, this isn't Jim, it's Levi. And then also he'd sometimes fail some of his jobs. Like when it came to the agent, he never killed the agent. He just told him to get out of town. And that obviously didn't happen because he's in episode 10.
How do you feel about the new Emoji Movie coming out?
It sucks. It sucks. It absolutely sucks. Why are we in such a state of mind when it comes to movie making? Like, we're fresh out of ideas. What can we do? Some guy's on his phone sending emojis to each other. I got it. Let's make a horrible plot about this one emoji that doesn't want to be the meh emoji, and he wants to be happy, but he can't because he's a meh emoji. So then there you go. There's your plot. Let's try to put some stupid jokes in there and whatnot. Like, you need to be more creative when it comes to making movies, and the Emoji Movie isn't very creative at all. It just takes something that people use every day that I, most of the time, find to be a nuisance. Like, when I get an emoji, I just think that's sort of inappropriate. But it's just, like, the only two emojis that I'm okay with is this and this. Those are the only two that people should be allowed to use. If if you use any of the other ones, you honestly should be put in jail for 6 years. So, yeah, that's my opinion on the Emoji Movie. Well, obviously I'm not working on Coyote because that's over. But I'm trying to make my own YouTube series, mainly skits, maybe some episodes of some series in the future, but the likeliness of that being related to Coyote is very slim. They should be looking for Mr. Spartan. Just YouTube search it. It might not be the first thing that comes up because I only have like 18 subscribers and literally no videos at the time of this recording. However, I do plan on making more videos, more skits. I'm working on one that has H.A. Kittle in it, so there you go. And also, if you're interested in it, I know probably not a lot of this audience is interested in it or doesn't have enough time. I am going to be starting up a gaming YouTube series, and that isn't going to be like gameplay. That's more going to be like game reviews or game wish lists, is like what I wish in the next Call of Duty game, Forza, whatever. I want to make it kind of clear that people that want to make a YouTube series, but they're like, oh, I don't have the resources. You have plenty of the resources. Like, AJ did it on his smartphone with a KindMaster app, something like that. And everything turned out to work. Like, it may not have gone over very smoothly at some points, but all of the editing was mostly believable. And it didn't feel like it's some cheap production. It feels like a lot of hard work and time was put into it. And maybe having better equipment and better editing software might make that easier. But if you put in just a tiny bit of extra work, you can just do it with your smartphone. Like, the technology is right there in your pocket. Use it.